everybody, it's Erin Reed with Erin Reed Makes. Sorry about that. We are live and welcome to Card Making Wednesday. Today we're going to be learning or playing with, kind of fumbling around here. We're going to be playing with large stamps, specifically floral stamps. I'm going to show you 5 different ways that you can play with your floral stamps without actively coloring in them. That's right. We're going to be doing something a little bit different for each of the 5 different stamps and 5 cards. So let's get started. All right, sorry, had a little glitchy thing here. Today we're gonna be playing with Prickly Pear stamps. So if you're watching us, we are live on Erin Reed Makes and Prickly Pear stamps simultaneously at the same time. So welcome, welcome. If you are watching on either channel and you would like to jump over to the other program or to check out their YouTube or their Facebook, mine or Prickly Pears, then the links are down below, and also the link to Prickly Pear stamps is down below. I will update all of the other supplies on my channel, Erin Reed Makes, after the show is over. I didn't get a chance to completely finish uploading everything, but I will get to that as soon as we are done today. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. We have lots of fun stuff. Let me show you some of the fun cards. I'm looking over here because that's where the comments are. I'd love to have some comments if you guys have them. Sorry if I seem a bit flustered. My batteries went dead on me right before we went live. Go figure. All right, so if you've got any comments, I'd love to hear it. Hello, Susie. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so let's flip the camera. We are going to be doing a bunch of cards. Now let me pull out all the variations of what we're going to be playing with today. We're going to do quite a few fun cards. Here we go. I have them kind of hiding. One is not completely done because it wasn't quite ready to be dry before. And this one is buried under here. Here we go. So here are 4 of the cards that we're going to be doing, and there are modifications to all of them. We're going to use a lot of fun different products to show you fun ways that you can use all of your large stamps. So we're going to start with one that needs a little bit of drying time, which is this guy right here. Okay, the other ones do not need drying time, so we'll come back to them. So for this card right here, what I did is I took the beautiful sunflower stamp. Look at this gorgeous, gorgeous sunflower stamp. This isn't from Prickly Pear. It does have the word sunflower, and there is a die, but we're not playing with dies today. We're purely just playing with the stamping. So I just went and I took my stamp and I just took a black ink. I actually used this color here. This is a water-based acid. It worked great for what I was doing. And I went ahead and stamped it just on regular old cardstock. So let's move that off to the side. I did that ahead of time so you wouldn't have to see me doing a bunch of stamping, and I could show you the actual technique. So let me just put the card up. This one, I did a very, very heavy wash to it. And yeah, we're going to go in and we're going to watercolor. So you guys haven't seen me pull out watercolors before, or if you've been on my channel before, you've not seen me pull them out. But today we're going to have some fun with some watercolor and some different ways to play. And we're going to do a very light wash. This card, I did a super heavy wash on it. Like it's really, really thick, but we're going to lighten this one up. I kind of was a little heavy-handed in it. So if you don't like it, guess what? That's the beautiful thing about this. It was paper, it was stamp, and ink. You can always redo it. That is the gorgeous thing about this. So I'm taking a bunch of water. I also have my little towel over here. So I'm just kind of getting my water ready. And I'm going to go with a lighter yellow. I'm going to pull this yellow right here. I'm going to go for a really light tone. So when you're doing watercolor, really fill it up. And I'm actually going to fill up one of the wells over here to kind of water it down. I really want to pull the tone out of here. There we go. So I'm getting lots of good water, really adding water, hence the watercolor, to the pigment. There we go. And I'm going to do like I did before. Now I'm just doing a wash on the card. I'm not trying to paint. We're going to come back and we're going to do painting on a different one. This one's just purely just giving it the 2-tone. It's the 2 colors for Ukraine. It's the sunflower, so it's kind of paying homage to that. So I'm going to take this yellow and I'm just going to do a light. Ooh, that's too light. See, that's how I got to add some more tone to that. Maybe let's pull this darker color. There we go. Let's try this one. How's that work? Ah, that's better. It was just a little too light. And I'm just doing a light wash, just hitting everything and going all the way up. I cut this to be way bigger. This is actually like a full size 4.5 by 5, but the stamp, it fits great. I mean, it's no problem. So we're going to go, but we're going to cut this down to kind of like I did on this one. But I have to let it dry before I cut it because I'm adding water to this. Now, if you have a problem or if you just are like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to add water to cardstock, then you can totally do this on watercolor paper. There's nothing wrong with that. Hi, Beth. Hello, hello. So you can totally go with watercolor paper. I'm just using just regular cardstock. This is the Nina white cardstock. This is the 110-pound weight. I feel it does great. Because you're adding water, it will have a little bit of some bending. It doesn't bother me. If it bothers you, use watercolor paper. All right, now we are going to switch. We're going to do blue. And this time I'm going to do, I think I'm going to try this blue. I can always test on the side. So again, like last time, add a bunch of water. I went with the light color first, so that way I didn't muddy my pigment. So I'm just pulling. You guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see, there it is. I'm pulling it and putting it in one of the wells. You guys know that the wells over here are actually meant to like add more water. You can blend colors in here too. So I'm just gonna do a little test. I'm gonna cut this off. Oh, I like that. See, it's just nice and faint, really just lightly saturated. And we're gonna wash down below. So simple. It's a great way. And you can do this with any stamp. Think any stamp color. I was actually originally going to do this with the blue bonnet stamp we're going to get to in a minute. But I changed gears because I really wanted to show you a different technique with the blue bonnet one. I need more pigment here. So I thought this would be a great way to show the watercolor and just how easy it is to add watercolor. But any stamp background, this would be beautiful for. Think of all those lovely large floral stamps. Prickly Pear has a ton of them. This one just happens to be the sunflower, and they are so gorgeous. But sometimes you're like, I don't want to sit there and color it in. You know, like I just don't have the time to color it in. I love that stamp. I just want something fast and easy. This is fast and easy, guys. I stamped, we're coloring, we're adding it in, and then look, so I did a really thick coverage. For this one, I used the darkest, it's almost into the orangey range, and did not add as much water. So I wanted to show you a difference in comparison. A really thick coverage versus really thin coverage. You could go halfway in the medium. Hi, Ashley, hello. So it really just depends on where you want to go with that. If you want thick, if you want thin. I went super thin, I went super thick. You do you when you're doing this. Now, because I'm going to close this up, normally I would just let this dry, but I'm just going to take my towel and just dab it in there and then close this up. We're going to come back to our watercolors in a little bit, but I have to let this dry before we finish our card. And then the simple way to finish it up, and I'm going to finish this card with you. I mean, it's not hard. I'll kind of show you. We'll come back and do it, but I have this word love, and I was debating where to put it. I might actually, the love in the black looks great, but you could also do white. White would pop, but the black looks really kind of cool on there. So here the black really pops because it's a very contrasting color. So there it is. So that's good. We're going to put this one off to the side for a minute. And this one is using the Sketched Florals Sunflower. And like I said, there is a die. We're going to play with the dies at another time. Today is just playing with the large stamps. So dark, light, easy watercoloring, super simple. Maybe wipe this down for a minute. And if you guys see like funny lights, it's because this is my glass mat and it's very reflective, but we're doing lots of watercolors and inks and stuff today. So I wanted to keep it nice and clean. Okay, the blue bonnets. Got to show you guys the blue bonnet card. And I'm going to show you how I prepped it. And then I have some that are already pre-made. This is like a cooking show. You know, I already went ahead and made some. So easy. Hey, Susie. Oh, I'm so happy you're going to want to try this. I love it when you're like, oh, that's such a cool idea. All right, so here is the blue bonnet stamp. Look how cute. This one's called Blue Without You Blue Bonnets. And I am in just outside of Austin, Texas. And when I saw this blue bonnet stamp, I was like, because they're out in droves. You drive around Central Texas, if you drive between Houston and Austin, or even going up to Dallas, they're all in the ditches. I mean, it is so pretty. I love the fact that people go out there and they'll spread the seeds. You put the seeds out in usually September, October, somewhere in that time frame. And then if we have a really good freeze, the seeds crack, and that's what allows the blue bonnets to come back. But you have to be careful not to mow too early because they pop out like in early February, and it just looks like grass or weeds or something. And then right about now, they start blooming. So we have like this sea of blue in certain places. It's so pretty. So if you've never seen it, if you don't know what blue bonnets are, check it out. Do a Google search. Look what blue bonnets are. It's a big deal. And everybody takes their kids out and goes and sits in the field with their blue bonnets. I have totally done that in my lifetime because they're just so pretty. You just got to watch out for the ants. Okay, so for this card, what I did is I just took a gel plate. So here is my jelly plate, and I don't have it finished because we're going to kind of do this live together. So we're going to take our gel plate, and I'm just going to take some watercolor markers. These are markers. I've done this before. I'm going to show you again, and this is a really fun way. Sorry, there was like noises at with my dog. I'm like, it sounds like somebody was trying to open my door. It's just the dog. No big deal. So we're going to take the markers, and we're just going to add the markers to my gel press plates. This is a gel press plate. It's awesome. It can take all different kinds of mediums, including I could do the watercolor on here. I can take my markers on here. I love the markers because it's kind of like no muss, no fuss. I'm just adding color to the marker. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on yet, but trust me, there is. I've done a whole bunch already, but I don't want to reveal. No revealing until we're there. So just adding, see, I'm just smearing it on. The plate is for the most part dry. It might have a little bit of wetness left over there. Gel press plates are awesome. Yes, and they work awesome. So Artistry, Ashley's on. She's with Artistry. Her markers work awesome with this too. If you've never played with them, they're awesome. So, hey. All right, next, I'm just going to take a little bit of water. I just happened to refill an old bottle of mine, and I'm going to spray. The more water you add, the more it looks like a watercolor background. The less water you add, the more it looks like just like you drew lines on a paper. I want this to look very wet or watercolory. So I'm going to add a lot of water. And you can see it starting to like pill up and starting to like bubble up and get all kinds of really cool action. I'm going to take my paper again, same old white paper, nothing big, nothing fancy. It's just that 110-pound cardstock. And I'm going to put it on here and I'm going to smoosh it around. And it's going to start absorbing all that funness. And I can pick it up and I can move it. And then here's the big reveal. There it is. It looks like a watercolor. It has a line because I picked it up and moved it, but doesn't that look like just blue watercolor? It's so pretty. I love that. It's such a cool design. So this you would have to let sit and dry. And it's going to pull up and it's going to get gorgeous. And let me fix my camera started glitching on me. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Tombow markers, watercolor markers, paints, the gel press plates work with a ton of different things. My daughter loves working with the markers and making a whole bunch of backgrounds, and then you can have fun with the stamps. So this is where the blue bonnets, hence the blue. So I'm going to show you a couple of the ones I have that are done. It's like a cooking show. You know, everything is finished. So here are a bunch that I made, and then they are dry already. And so here you can see one where I didn't add as much water, so you can see the lines. This is one where there was splotches where there was water on there and the marker, but there was parts where it wasn't filled. So that way you got the white part. This is one where it was really dark and I really smashed it around. And this one's like super faint. I think I'm going to go with this one with us right now. I don't know. It's just having fun with it. So it's nice and dry. Yes, it is kind of warped. So if you look at that, it is warped, but we're going to add adhesive all the way around and it's going to stick flat. So do not worry about it. So now what we need to do is we're going to stamp it. So we're going to pull out, if I can possibly get it out. This is another one. I was going to do this one first and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this one first because this one doesn't require any drying time and all the other ones took drying time. And I wanted to show you what the one I made would look like when it's all done. So place your piece in here. There we go. And then we're going to take our blue bonnet stamp. And I love this stamp also. There's a lot of reasons why I love this stamp. One is blue bonnets. Two, it also has some really good sentiments. Sorry, that was really loud for people that have like issue. You're in my thoughts and prayers across the miles. I'm blue without you. Hello, you're always on my mind, heart, and mind. Missing you. There's lots of fun sentiments on here as well. So there's awesome. Another great tool. I know I love my Misty. So I'm going to line up my stamp to go pretty much right at the bottom because I'm going to leave the top to have my sentiment. And we're going to stamp this in black. And I did not condition my stamp, so it's going to stick and pull up. Oh, it didn't do that bad of a job. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to do this in black. So I have my black ink right here. You guys ever seen this little navigation tool? It is pretty awesome. I don't have to worry. It's Velcro on here. It's called the Ink Navigator, and it's just really cool. I think it's pretty awesome. And then I'm going to push this down right here, and then I'm using my little Chucky tool, which is actually a glue holder. I'm using the bottom side of it, and we're going to rub this back and forth, just like that. And then we're going to pull it up. And if I need a little bit more, I think I'm good. I think I kind of like that. I think that feels like it's just about right. What do you guys think? We there? I think we're there. And I'm just going to move. Actually, I'm going to pull this off. And I'm going to clean it because I'm going to be doing other stamping and I don't want to we're going to be doing some embossing in a minute. So I'm just putting this back on here. So I'm just going to do a quick clean of my stamp so it doesn't get mucky. and then do a quick clean right here. There we go, because we're going to stamp in a minute and I don't want to mess this up. So away that goes. So now we have our blue bonnets. Now, could you change up the color and do something different? Do you have to do only one color? No, I've mixed and matched. You know, think about, you just got to think about if you're mixing watercolors on a gel plate, you have to be careful that if you mix like red and green, you could get a brown in the middle. So I would do, I mean, unless you really want that, but so just be careful of your colors, you know, purples and blues. That would look really pretty on here as well. Reds and oranges, things like that. So just kind of keep in mind with color families. All right, so here we have that. Then we just are going to add it to our background. So I have some blue cards. I went ahead just really emphasizing the blue here. Look at that. And you know what? I think I'm going to trim this up. I don't like it seeing those edges. So we're going to make it really, really small. I always like to make my backgrounds bigger whenever I'm doing watercolors or if I'm doing a big stamp, because then I can always go in and trim it up. So I'm actually going to trim all the way to the bottom. Here we go. So I'm going to trim all the way to the bottom of the blue bonnets right there. And I'm going to trim a little bit on the side. There we go. So just, it's coming from the edge, which means we're going to have a really, and then maybe just a tiny, let's go to 4. There we go. It's folding up. Yeah, I'll flip it upside down. Here we go. We're going to go to 4.5. There. So it's got a little, because this last blue bonnet here is actually not cut. It's going like this. So I don't feel like that's a problem. I think that's totally fine. So there is that paper. And since I did that, we're going to matte that with a white. I think I want to have a contrast here. So I'm going to go ahead. I made these ones. I love mattes. So my blue here is 1/4 inch down. So that would be, that was at 4. So we're going to go 3 3 3/4. And this one's going to be a 5. So we have a matte. There we go. We have the background paper. And then we have that little guy. May not be the perfect size, but it'll be pretty close. Here we go. Probably should trim a little bit more down. It looks a little wonky. I don't know. What do you guys think? Or I just keep it nice, big and blue. No, I like the white, but that size is fun. That size is bugging me. I have to have it be symmetrical. Do you guys like that? Sometimes I change my mind on the fly. This is the deal with lives. So if I got to think the measurements now. So I went to 4.5. That normally would have been a 5.5. I went down 1 inch. So this has got to be 3 1/4. So I got to, there we go. And all I'm doing is cutting off just the blue. Sorry, I got to do the math in my head real fast. I want to keep everything consistent. So as the mats go down in size, it doesn't look funny. Are you guys like that? Or do you bother about the size differences and making sure that they're all in line? Do you guys worry about that? Maybe it's just me. Now I almost want to add a black in there, but what do you think? So it's black, blue, and white. That looks pretty, right? That's gorgeous. We'll keep that. I'm happy with that. That's what I get for not making the prototype, because I was waiting on the paper to dry. Then it's just a matter of putting the whole thing together. We're not doing anything crazy. We're just playing with the large stamps. And then I am looking at the corner here, to make sure it's about the same size, lining it down, and really making sure I get into those corners because the paper wants to ride up. Since we trimmed it down, we got rid of some of those extra corners that were folding up. Thank you, Susie. Hope everybody's having an amazing day. So there we go. So look, just really pretty, a little bit of a blue border. If you wanted to go in and add a black to this or kind of have fun with the layers, you could totally do that. And then we're going to fold here. And then we're going to add this to the card. There we go. So there it is. See, now we're going to add our sentiment. And remember we had all those gorgeous sentiments that were on here. So I think we're just going to do, I don't know, what do you guys want to do? Oh, look at that. That's totally off. That is going to bug the bejesus out of me. So we're going to do a little rip and tear. It's okay. It's not set yet. You got a little bit of wiggle room. I'm rushing. I don't know why I'm rushing. I got plenty of time. I didn't have my pieces cut, and that's throwing me off because normally I have everything cut and ready, but this one I didn't get it done in time. And then my background there. No, see, now my blue one's all messed up. Ah. Are you like me too? Do you guys rip your cards apart? I have to have it the way I want it. There we go. Okay, that looks so much better now. Why are you flipping? Sorry, my camera is like doing the wiggle thing. You love the pop border color. Thank you. I love adding border colors. Isn't that pretty? So we're going to do, I don't know, which one do you guys want to do? I usually have, again, all these figured out. Let's just do a hello. No, we're going to do across the miles. We're just going to leave it really simple as across the miles. And I'm going to stamp it on white. So I have extra white puddled up here in the corner here. This is from when I was cutting others. No, that's a big sheet. I have little sheets around here somewhere. Little paper. Here we go. Little paper. And then let's pull. You guys should see my desk just off screen. Like everything's shoved. If you guys can tell, like I try to like get everything just off screen so you don't see it. So we're going to do the across the miles. I'm just going to stamp it again in black. So we're just going to come in. So this is a really easy way to add a background. And we're going to mat this as well to give it a nice good pop. So I'm going to find a good corner just to stamp across the miles. There we go, across the miles. And then I take my scissors, and for this, I like to use really big scissors. So instead of trying to get out my, my cutting tool for something really small, I don't bother. I will use my scissors. If you have a die, or if you want to use your trimmer, you're more than welcome to. But I feel like I can get a really good job most of the time with my scissors. So here we go. Apparently I did that on green. Whoops, it's okay. It's white on that side. And then to match, we're going to do the same blue. So I know I have a ton. I got more of this blue. I got tons and tons of this blue. So we're just going to go across here. So first, we're going to add our adhesive along this, which is the green. So we're going to pop that right there. And then I'm going to just, again, use my scissors to trim and give it a mat. I always go, if it looks pleasing to the eye, I'm good. And to me, that looks fairly even and pretty good. Business weekend, trying these, woohoo, watercolor. We're not done. This is only 2 of 5 that we are doing today. Now, decide where we're going to put this. Do we want to put this across here? Oh, that's a different color blue. Oh, well, that's fine. Got lots of blue colors. Here, do we put it across here? There. I think I like it right here. What do you guys think? No, it's cutting off the top of the flower. Down here, it doesn't feel like, even though I'm across the flower, it's not cutting off the top. Up here looks too out of the way. I tend to go across the bottom, and I'm not going to go and line it up purely with the white. I think I'm going to go right here, right there, and then boom, there it is, across the miles. So pretty. So that is a really easy background you can do. You made your own watercolor. You can have fun with the colors. I went with blue because they're blue bonnets, and it's just easy as that. And then just to show you the paper we did, it's getting there. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting really pretty. I mean, it's gorgeous. I'm going to leave this to dry, and I can show you towards the end. All right, so there is that beautiful card. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, the next one, this one, we are actually going to be playing with watercoloring within. It's the first stage I did, and we are using the beautiful rose stamp. So let me show you the rose, clean off some space here for myself. So look at the gorgeous rose stamp. How beautiful is this one? Hi, Bitty Penny. Hello, hello. So look how pretty this is. It is so pretty. It's got the word rose. It's called Sketch Florals Rose. And that is what we're going to do. So I did a very pale watercolor on here. And first thing we did is I heat embossed with just regular old ultra fine detail clear heat embossing. I did that ahead of time. And so that is what is on here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's hiding in there. So we're going to watercolor this, and then it's going to give it time to dry while we do the last 2 cards. So get our watercolors back out. This is our last watercolor card. Yeah, I think it's our last one. Yes. No. Yes. I don't know. I'm trying to remind myself. You'll see. We'll figure it out. Now I'm second guessing all that I'm doing. They're all laid out here. I'm just trying to remember which ones I've done. Oh, I'm a mess. Okay, so what I like to do for this is, number one, I'm going to leave the card out that I've already done. I'm going to put my water closer to me so I'm not dripping across everything. So this is what I've done, but I will also put out the stamp. So that way I can see, I mean, I can kind of see where the roses are on here, but I really want to know where everything is. So I'm going in and watercoloring. I'm not messing it up. And let's pick a different color. Let's do something different completely in terms of tones of color. Should we do red? Let's do a red rose, because why not? So let's find a pretty red. We're going to get my water here. And I think my really pretty red is right here. And let's check. Yeah. Oh, that's pretty. That's like a burgundy red. That is so pretty. These are not super fancy watercolors, people. These are pretty generic. I mean, they're not like kids grade. These are like for adults, and you can do some really amazing watercolors, but this is not break the bank watercolor. Again, I will post the stamps. All the Prickly Pear stamps are all listed. You can go to the link down below in the information section. If you're watching Facebook, YouTube, everywhere down below. All the other supplies I will link after the fact. I just didn't get to it yet. Sorry, but they're coming. Don't worry. All right. So in case you're curious where all these things are, this is a good, decent water brush pen. So again, or pen, sorry, brush, not pen, brush. So I will put it on there. And if you guys have not subscribed and liked to both Prickly Pear and to me, I would absolutely love that. So I am just getting this on here. I'm going to get here. This is another sheet of paper. I want to test my color. Ooh, look how pretty that is. I'm again using plain old white, just 110-pound cardstock. If you want to use watercolor paper to do this, by all means, go for it. I just wanted to show you, without having to get anything fancy, you can still watercolor. And that's a really pretty color. So we're going to go with that one. So we're just going to go in and we're going to do the roses. And the deal about it being heat embossed, see how it's resisting? And it's so easy. I'm going to show you how to heat emboss in a minute, but with something different. So we're going to get to that in a minute. But look how fast and easy that is. It just fills in the corners. And again, I've got a rose here. Now I've got another one here. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to fill that rose in. So I'm kind of using it as a guide. It's like the world's easiest watercolor. If you want to add some hint of other tones in there, you can definitely see how I'm just kind of making it a little bit darker. I'm not adding more color. I'm just adding more pigment here. So I can come in. Really, I think I'm might go in and darken this one up because it's really light. I like the darkness of this right now. Isn't that pretty? So I don't want to oversaturate this with water. I really want to saturate it with color. So I can add more color, just a titch on both sides. And I can come in and really get more color. I'm on this rose right now. Oh, I'm really loving this color. You guys like this color? I think it's really pretty. This is a big petal right here. I went too light with the other one. This one's too faint. Pretty, but a little too faint. It's too hard to distinguish. So I'm going to go back, and I can always go back. Look, guys, even though I've like attached this, I can go back with a darker pink right here, and I can come in and add more color to this. Even though I've already like made the card, look how much prettier that is now. It needed more color. That was the bottom line. It was too faint. That is so much better. Look at that. So much better of a pop. Totally fixed it. Just need to add more color. So all else fails, go darker. So I'm going to go darker, darker, darker. Pretty. There we go. Look at that prettiness. And the stamp is doing all the hard work for me. I'm just filling in lines. Like the world's easiest coloring job ever. So done. Okay, so those are the roses. Now I got this bud right here. So I'm going to go in with this one for the bud. Here we go. Right there. I don't know why I just tried to whisper. Not like you guys. Oh, and then there's a little bud right here. So I need some more water. This needs more water in here. This is so therapeutic. This is such an easy way to get beautiful cards. And if you do not have watercolors, if you don't have like a palette like this, you can always use your brush pens and you can watercolor with those. You just add them to, like you would rub them in here and then watercolor with them. So that's a really easy way. Okay, so I think I've got all rose, 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 rose. There's the 5. Now I'm going to clean my brush off and we're going to go in with the green, a little bit of a darker green than what I had before. So I'm going to pull this green now. I'm going to test it. Yeah, that'll look really pretty. Don't you think that's a good contrast? So I'm going to pull it up here. And if you're just joining us, we are doing 5 different techniques using large floral stamps. Right now we're on heat embossing and adding watercolor. So really pretty. The darker pink totally, doesn't it bring it to life like on this one? Totally pretty. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and we're going to do the leaves. I'm just going to the edge. I'm being very careful not to go over the edge. I can't tell right here if this is a leaf or a flower, so I'm just deciding it's a leaf. On this one, I decided it was a flower, but on this one, I'm deciding it's a leaf. You pick and decide what you think if you're not sure. It's your card. And it's totally pretty. I'm in love with these cards. I think I'm in love with these colors. Oh my goodness. Filling in all the greens. And this one I did cut to size. I didn't leave it for me to cut after the fact. I did cut directly to size. And you know what? I'm just going to add a little more green as if there was another leaf back there and another, you know, even though there's no watercolor, I'm just filling in the gap at the bottom. I'm just filling it in. I'm going to put the thanks there anyway, so no big deal. Because you never know, there could have been another leaf in the background. I'm just wanting to kind of fill in the space. So I'm going to come into all of that. Now we're going to come into here, get all of that prettiness. And then towards the top, there definitely is more white space, and I want to leave it white. I'm not going to fill in the color on this. So this is a fill in the color. The first one we did, and you could totally do what we did with the sunflower, where you're coloring it in with the stamp. It totally works that way too. I feel like I'm saying, okay, is anybody taking a tally of how many times I've said totally so far? I think I'm at about 15. I don't know. Absolutely. What's another word besides totally? Because I feel like I'm really using that word a lot right now. And apparently I've got to be, you know, Italian because I've got the huh. Go figure. So look at that. So pretty. Now I've got some really dark color here and I love that pop of dark. So I'm going to come in and add some more dark here and there. Just because I'm going to move my water now because I don't need it. I'm going directly to the paint and just adding pops because, you know, leaves are not all the same color, right? So we're just adding some more dimension to color and having some fun with it. And look how pretty. I love that card. Isn't it so pretty? Hey, everybody who's on. Hey, Sharon. Hello, hello, hello. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, I think my stem needs a little bit more color because it's kind of, I can't see the stem, at least from my camera. So I'm just going to come in and really emphasize that stem right there. There it is. And now you can really see that stem. I love that. So I am going to fix my other card, which, you know what, I'm not going to do it on camera, but just to show you, you can go in. And I use this really, really pale green, and I'm not going to use that, but I'm going to come in with the green. Oops, that's really, really saturated. Okay, and then just kind of fix. There's nothing wrong. And look how much that just really fixes that right there. And coming in with pops on top, if you're like, oh, that just was not dark enough. I just didn't do justice to my card. Then fix it. Go in and add more color after that. Because we're dealing with white and we're dealing with a white embossing powder with the stamp, you really want to make it more saturated. And so I can pull this thanks off or I'll just work around it. See, I'm just working, it's paper, guys. Don't worry about it. Work around it, add more color, maybe even add another tone in here. There we go. Really come in, make it more emphasized. So I'm going to darken this guy up as well and really pick that last one. You know, get this last color on here. Take 2 seconds. Ooh, now I got a purpley one going. Look at that. That's kind of cool. It had a little bit of a color left over on my brush because I didn't clean my brush very well, but it's kind of purpley. That looks so much better, guys. Okay, so that is the second card. I'm going to dab this again because I believe I'm done with all of my watercolor. I'm going to finish that one and really touch it up after the fact. And all of these cards will also live on my Instagram. There's going to be a short video for each of these in case you missed it or just like, I need a reminder real fast about how to do that, like a quickie one. So look, apparently there's a fly who wants to come and watercolor with me. So look how gorgeous those are. This technique all would work with any of the stamps. All the techniques I'm showing you work with any of these floral stamps. You don't have to be like, oh, well, it only works with the rose. No, it doesn't. It works with all of them. So if you're really in love with the watercolor one with the heat embossing, do that. If you really want the wash one, like we did with the sunflower, switch. I mean, whatever, they all work great. So mix and match them. All right, so here are those two. And then all we have to do is do a matte as a background. And I do not have a pretty color because I just cut into mine. So no, that green does not work. I have to find a background matte for this, but I want it to dry first. Do not put this on paper until it's 100% dry. So take this, let it dry, and then put it on your background. And this is basically what the card looks like when it's finished. Let the stamp do the work for you. So drying time for that guy. Okay. Now we're going to play again. And this time, all my stuff is over here. Oh, well, I had a pink. There was the pink I had, but I wanted to do a different color for that one. We're going to have some fun. Okay. this card, I got to get all my pieces. Got to get all my pieces here. We are going to be using the Wildflower Stamp. Look how gorgeous this stamp is in this beautiful, yes, the blue bonnet. That blue bonnet card. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. All right, so here we have, this is the Wildflower Stamp. It has wildflowers. Look how gorgeous. Again, all of these stamps also have dies that go with them, but we're not playing with that. We're just playing with the wildflower itself. So get back our tool. I can't think of the word. You're misty. Whatever stamp positioner you have. And we're going to put in a sheet of paper that is a little bit bigger. And here it is. Hiding over there. And we are going to stamp our wildflower with Versamark because we are going to be using Perfect Pearls. So the card I already did. I did a little too much in having some fun, which where did that? Oh, here it is. I went a little too fun with colors. It's a very, very subtle card. This is not one that is like in your face with color, but it's there. The links are down there to go directly to the store. I'm going to link directly to the cards after, but the link just to the store is there. But I will have direct links to each of these cards when we are done, or to the stamps, sorry, when we're done. So stamp is on there. Make sure it's there. But the main link is there to go to the store. All right. Put that there. We're going to use Versamark. Versamark is used for heat embossing. This is the same one that I used for the watercolor. So when I just heat embossed with the Ranger Ultrafine Detail, I use the Versamark. We're going to use this one, but this time we're going to use it with the Perfect Pearls. So a couple of different ways that you can kind of play with it. So here, get a good coverage with it. Stick it all on there. There we go. And make sure, and you know if your Versamark's good, because if you touch it and you feel like you're like sticky to your finger, you're good to go. Like it's on there. You're set. All right. We're going to stamp. Use your little Chucky tool to really make sure you get it everywhere. Press, press, press. And again, I made this bigger. We're going to cut it down. The wildflowers are so pretty. So now it's sticky. I got a good sticky stamp. I'll remove that in a minute. We're going to place this here. And since my glass mat is magnetic, it also magnetizes to everything in my drawer. Go figure. So we're going to magnetize the top of this. And I know the top is clean. Like there's nothing on the top. If you look at the stamp, again, this is why I like putting the stamp off to the side. I'm good. And I went taller than the actual stamp. So if you look at the size of my paper, I've got some room, but I'm just putting it in the corners. So now we are going to play with the Perfect Pearls. So you just use a brush. I use a good stipple brush, but any brush would work. I'm going to pull a couple of them out so I don't have to keep dipping into and changing it out. A nice soft brush. Don't go too crazy. Just like soft brushes like these work, right? They're just all same idea. I'm going to do the bottom with a little bit of green. So the colors I picked are pink, blue, purple, and green. So they definitely go really well together. We're not going to make mud, right? They're all pretty colors. We're going with cool tones here. So you dip in the Perfect Pearls. You can use the lid to kind of tap off some of the extra, and then you just blend it in and see how it picks up the color. The more you add, there is a little bit of a speed factor here because you're dealing with Versamark. This is like heat embossing. So instead of adding embossing powder to it, you're adding the powder. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next color. We're going to go pink. And this time, instead of going just in layers, we're going to go from side to side. We're going to kind of mix and match. So we're going to go some pink. And then we're going to open up some blue. It's very, very subtle, but this also works on black. I will have to say, I meant to do a black and I forgot. We're going to do a lot more blue because it really pops. The pink is just an extra tone there. And then we're going to do some purple. And yes, there's lots of powder on here right now because we're going to have, we want it to really get pushed in. So you're seeing it kind of showing up already. There we go. I think we need a little more pink in here. Let's add some pink right here. So really push it in. There we go. And so just now that I've got it all in there, I'm going to just use one. I'm going to use the biggest brush here and really push to make sure there's no more pigment, no more sticky, no more ink on there, and really get it all in there. Look at that. It's very subtle. In person, and now I'm going to do this corner so it doesn't look silly because there's a little bit of powder on there. It does pretty well come off. And I'm going to close these so I don't make a giant mess of myself. And these are not perfect pearls, but they're all mica powders. That's what perfect pearl is. There's a lot of different brands out there. So whatever you have, these ones, they don't really go bad at all. They're just a mica powder. They're really pretty and they work great. And it's just another way to use your stamps, right? So then you can go in, clean off your brush. I'm just using the same towel and then really brush it off. And there it is. So it has a little sheen to it. It's a really subtle card. It's not like in your face. It's very just gentle. It's very subtle. In person, because I have lots of lights in my space, it's a lot more in your face here to me in person than it is on camera, but they're still really pretty. I love it. I don't know. Do you guys like the perfect pearls? Is that a fun? And look how fast it was. That's the best part. Like it is so, so fast. There's no drying time needed. It goes quick. You just be careful you don't make mud, you know, it's fast. That's what I love about it. Okay, so now we're going to trim this down. And I think with this one, my fingers are beautiful. Yeah, look at that. I am covered. I'm like all painty and fun. It's fun. So I like that. What do you guys think? That blue on the back. I also have, we have the pink. Ooh, I think I like the pink. I made a whole bunch of mats. I also have the green. What do you guys think? You guys tell me which mat we should do. Let me show you again. So green. There we go. Okay, green. I don't like the green. Blue. Blue makes it kind of pop nicely. And here, pink. Oh. Let me trim this guy down first. So we're going to trim it. I'm going to take that little bottom lip off first. There we go. And then this is going to get trimmed down to be 3 3/4. And then it's going to be, and because the stamp is so nice and wide, it went all the way across. So you can definitely get a pink. All right, we're going pink. We're going to go to 5 inches on this one. And I did a really good job stamping. Kudos to myself compared to the other card that I did, which has vanished. Nope, it's right here. I made a boo-boo and I missed this section right here. It didn't stamp as well. Oh, we got blue and pink. Oh, come on, guys. All right. Next vote, who says either blue or pink, that's the color. Because right now it's a 50-50. I can't leave it at 50-50. We got to have a majority win here. We got to have another comment about which color we're going with. This one I had more oranges and yellows, so that's why it kind of has a color. So we're going to cut this down, but it can be a larger card if you want it to. I'm just doing A2 size cards. So if you have a funky corner, like this is not as bright here, let's trim that off. Do you seal the mica with anything? I don't. Oh, pink. Pink's the winner. I do not seal my mica. You could, but I have never done it. And this one's been sitting and it's fine. It's like you can't, it might slightly, but you know, I don't do anything. And there you can, when I tilt it, you really guys can see the whole thing. That pretty that is. Oh, come on, Biddy. You guys are having too much fun. Oh, you guys, I get purple on the other one. All right. Well, it doesn't matter because they're both so similar. You guys crack me up. Okay. We're going pink. Make your own, make it blue. Okay. I really feel like make it pink, make it blue, make it pink. Like we're in Cinderella. No, that's somebody's Sleeping Beauty, right? That was Sleeping Beauty. The pink, make it blue, make it pink. There you go. Who knows? Am I right? Is that Sleeping Beauty? We're going to make it pink. So there is the mat. I love that pop of color on there. I'm a huge person for mats. If you guys have ever seen any, I love layers. Love layers. We're going to make it pink, even though I'm a blue girl, but we're going to change it up a bit. Have some fun. Because we did a lot of blue with the blue bonnets. So, you know, alter it up a bit. And then you just need your card base, which I have a few cut right here. And then we're going to get some sparkly fun here in a minute. Sparkle, sparkle. I mean, mica powders are sparkly, but just wait. Just wait. And so far, I mean, you tell me, have I done any techniques that you're like, holy crap, I can't do that. That's just way too hard. That is not the point of these cards. The point of these cards is fast, easy. Anybody can do it. Like kids can do it. They would have fun with it. If you're a beginner card maker, you want to just play, you can pull out those old supplies you have in the back. So you're like, oh, I've had those pearls forever. I haven't used them. Or, oh, I forgot about my watercolors. That's kind of the point of these. getting to use those beautiful large stamps and using a lot of different things, plus super easy for mass production, which is nice. Okay, so here we go, pink. And then for this one, and I'll do it after the fact, I took the Just Because, and that stamp came from, here we go, this little stamp set right here, which is really pretty. The Just Because is, nope, well, it's hiding and it's probably stuck to the bottom of something, but it came from right in here. It says Just Because. So I stamped Just Because, and then I just matted it in purple and put it in the corner. So really keeping it simple. There's also, you are my lucky charm. Happy birthday to you. Good luck for someone special. You're fabulous. And there are frames that go around it that you can do, but I just used the Just Because I didn't want to take away from the beautiful work of all the mica powder that we did in the background. So in this stamp, sorry, I'm having a burping problems here. It's called Scallop, Circle, and Oval. Very simple. Lots of wonderful sentiments on there. Okay, so beautiful mica powder. Now we're going to come and do the next one. The next one's so pretty. Okay, got to find it though. It's hiding. It's hiding, hiding. Oh, here it is. Shimmery fun. Look how pretty. This is using the Lilac Stamp, which is right here, buried under all my stuff. Here we go. So this is the Lilac, it's backwards. Okay, I'm going to show you this part right here. So that's the Lilac Stamp. That's what we're working with. Here's the stamp. I need to stick it on my stamp positioning tool. So we're going to flip and take the Wildflower out. And so again, it's lilac. It's called Sketch Floral Lilac. Look how beautiful that is. And to me, lilacs are purple. So that's why we're going with purple. So pull that off. I have a lot of cleaning up to do. You guys should see the desk is like, I'm sure you guys know exactly what my desk looks like, because I have never found a crafter in my lifetime, card maker, scrapbooker, crafter, that when they're crafting, they keep like an immaculate desk. Like I'll clean up after, but it's like a bomb has hit here. Anybody else? I'm sure everybody, but just saying. Okay, so done with those. Those are my, so those were the words are escaping my mouth, magnets. Okay, where is my card base? There it is. I have them all done. So again, I went a little bigger than no, we're doing black. Haha. So this is one I wanted to show you. We are going to be dealing with a sparkly, this is the Wow embossing powder. This is Magical Mauve, and it's shimmery, pretty, pretty, pretty. And so I did it in white, but I'm going to show it to you in black. So sorry if that was really loud. I had a tickle. So this card base is way too big. We're going to trim it down when it's done. So here it is a little bit, yeah, piles everywhere. I know we're so bad, but that's okay. I'm going to do it in the middle just so I have room to kind of cut where I want to. I don't want to cut off into this beautifulness. So I'm probably going to trim right to the edge like I did it here. So it looks like it's kind of coming off. So there that is. We're going to get this fully on here. Hey, it didn't stick too bad. Awesome. Getting conditioned. And then we're going to take the same Versamark that we did before. So one-stop shop with this, guys. But whatever embossing ink you have, go for it. I am not picky about that. If whatever strikes your fancy, whatever you like, go for it. So really get it on there. And then put it on. Use my little Chucky tool again. Really get a good coating on here. You want to make sure that you get every little nook and cranny, because you could do a re-ink on this, but you really want to do a good job of getting all of that ink transferred so you get all that beautiful shimmeriness when you're doing the heat embossing. And you can just start to see it. There it is. It's on there. It's so faint. It's so hard to see, but it's there. It's there. Just has to be sticky enough to get everything to stick to it. All right. Now I'm going to get my sheet of paper. Here we go. We'll lay this down. And then we are going to add, and I overdo it because you're going to put it right back in there anyway. I'm not competing with any other colors. So really glob it on. Look how pretty. That purple is so shiny and pretty, and it was perfect. I was looking through all my supplies and going, okay, it's lilacs. Lilacs are purple. What can I do with that? And then I found this. I was like, oh, that's it. We got to do that. All right, so now we're going to take this, shimmy, shimmy, shake. And look how pretty. And I know I'm doing everything in purple, and I know there's green in here, but this is just showing a fast. If you really want to get in there and try to do like colors and do the green, more power to you. You can also go in with your brush. I'm just going to pick one of the brushes I was using for the perfect pearls. And if you want to kind of brush away any of the excess here to kind of clean it up some, especially like up in the corner, just to make sure you don't have any fuzz balls. You know, like sometimes you get the little Kling-ons and then you heat it and it sticks as well. So it's your call. Then I immediately, always, careful, will take that, put my embossing powder. I'm just going to rest that right here. I have a little tidy tray. I used to use this for embossing, but now I just use it for cleaning up because it's so hard to pop the things out. Using a sheet of paper is so much easier because you can fold it and then tap. And I feel like I have not used any of it. I use this because there's always a little residual in there, but whatever method you use for embossing is cool. And again, I feel like I haven't even dented this thing. So there that is. Let's move everything off to the side. And then because I've got so much heat embossing, I am going to use my little tweezers to hold it. Heads up, I'm about to use my heat gun, so it's going to get loud here for a minute. I'm going to turn my mic away as much as possible, but just as a warning here. And then just heat it. Now, the downfall to glitter, it's hard to tell when it's done, so you have to look for that little bit of a change. It's right there. It just happened. I don't know if you guys saw that. There's a change that happens. I don't even know if you can hear me over the gun, the heat tool. I got to be careful about saying the G word. I'm live. I don't want to get cut off. So you just keep going until you see that change of color. It's very, very subtle. As soon as it goes from like darker to lighter, and just be slow and steady, but don't hover over one spot too long. Otherwise, you're going to burn your paper. So just keep on going. All the way to the bottom. And I just want to do one final pass. Now my heat gun's really warmed up. Heat tool. That's the G word. Heat tool. There we go. This thing is so ancient. Oh my God. This is a really old Marvy one that I've had for forever. And like you can tell it's well used. Well loved heat tool there. And look how pretty. It's still a little warm, so I'm just going to be careful. But look how shiny and pretty. I like it better on the black. Just, you know, it's just something about heat embossing on black with glitter is so pretty. The white is very subtle, very just kind of gentle. It wasn't loud. Oh, good. Thank you. I'm glad to know. I don't use them very often. So I'm glad to know the heat tool was not too loud. But the black is stunning. Oh my goodness. But, you know, if you're going to give this to somebody as like a sympathy card, I don't know if I would go with the black. It's just a little too in your face, but it's really gorgeous. So, you know, choose your own. Decide what you like. You pick, you do you. Black is always an option. You can't watercolor on black very well, though. So this is one that you really can't watercolor, just as a heads up. Now, the other one you could do is you can perfect pearl on black. You know what? We're going to do one real fast because it's so easy. I have black paper right here. Okay, now we're going to trim this up, and we're going to go to 3 3/4, which is right here. So I'm not going to finish the card. I just want to show you guys. And then this is going to get trimmed to 5. Ooh, I don't want to cut that off. So we're going to go to the top right there, give myself a little room, and then I'm going to come in and trim off the bottom. And I know I'm trimming off a little bit of what I just did. That's okay. Don't worry about it. No muss, no fuss. And look how gorgeous that is. So, so pretty. Yeah, we're going to do a perfect pearls in black because I really want to show you guys what it looks like in black. It's so pretty. And we'll use the lilac stamp because I already have it on there. I'll show you just with a different stamp. Okay, so now we're going to mat that. And you can do, this is a different color purple. It's just a change of a color. And then we're going to do it on a white cardstock base. So, and I have not die cut out. Well, I was debating. And I did the word, oops. Well, there went the perfect pearls. That's not going to see. So it totally hides because it's in black. Not going to work. I did do it in the purple. It kind of shows. What do you guys think? Tell me while I'm gluing. If I don't put it together now, I'm going to lose the pieces. That's why I do this. You guys have seen how to put cards together. Something about when it's finished, though. It really has a good, cool wow effect when it's all done, especially when you see all the colors. I debated doing it in white. The black does not show at all. But what do you guys think of the purple? Does the purple pop enough? You tell me. I think it's a little bit light. I could go back and do it in white. I could also do a stamp, but then I have a big white stamp. I like the die cut word a little better. I could also do, and I didn't do this one, is I could do the word thanks across the bottom, but I would do it in a different color. So I'll play with that after the fact. We don't need to sit here and show you, but you get the idea of what it looks like if I put the word love on the white. Just picture it in white on here. Again, finished one will be on my Instagram, so you guys can catch that and see the finished one on this one. Okay, so let's do a perfect pearls with the black. And I'm going to do it in the same stamp because it's already set up and I do not have to alter it. So we're going to do that real fast, just so you guys can see. I just need to do a quick cut, and we're just going to play with the heat. So I'm not worried about if this is the right size. It'll be too big, but that's okay. We can always cut it after the fact, right? There we go. Give it a white shadow. Ooh, that would look pretty. I think white. So I'll play with it. You guys will see the finish. Check out the Instagram. It'll be on there. Okay, so black paper in here. Put our tools down. Get the Versamark out. There we go. There we go. And then stick it on. Chucky tool. Really get all that perfect pearl on there. It looks like you've hardly done anything and it looks so faint, but it really does make a big pop when it's all said and done. All right, so now we are going to take our sheet of paper. I use the same one I use for embossing. And we're going to magnetize this guy down. And let's just do the purple. Just because it's lilac, we're just going to stick with the purple. I think I'm just going to do the one color, right? So let's pull out the purple and let's really give it a good coat of purple. Look at that. The black is amazing with the perfect pearls. I should have done it to begin with. I should have, I am doing it now, but you know, you really can see all the goodness of it. Now I've got a really good coat. See how much that pops on that black compared to the white. I mean, the white's pretty. And when I just do it at an angle, you can really see that all the color designs. You can get more colors on there, but look at the black. Now I just got to clean it up. Look how fast that was. See what I mean? So fast. So now I'm just going to take another brush and just kind of wipe it down. I can also take my cloth here. Look at that. See, it takes all that extra color, just a cloth, and it just leaves behind what you wanted to see. And that's that purple. So this is the perfect pearls with the purple. And then look at that sheen. See that sheen? Look at that. Gorgeous. And this one is one that you definitely could go in and do a little bit more on, like green for the leaves. I just did a singular color so you could really see that. So isn't that pretty? So we played with so many fun stamps today. We played with the rose. So we played with the rose, and here is the watercolor we did with the rose. We played with the wildflower stamp here, and we did the perfect pearls with the wildflower. Look how gorgeous. We did the lilac, which, oh, no, that's blue bonnet. Sorry, that's blue bonnet, not wildflower. Darn it. Here, blue bonnet with our blue bonnet. The wildflower is currently stuck to something, so I'll have to fix that. But here is the wildflower right here. Let me get these out of the way. And the wildflower is that one. That's the perfect pearls right there. Gorgeous. And then we also did, what else did we do? Oh, we did our sunflower. And I wanted to show you, so let's come back. We're going to finish the sunflower real fast. So now that the wash is done, we're going to trim that. And so we're going to trim off, because right now it looks kind of funky and just a little bit like incomplete. So now you're going to come in and you're going to trim. So I'm going to come in and trim right where it shows to cut. Right there. Ta-da. Trim across the bottom so I don't have an ugly bottom. And then I believe this goes to 5. And then now it's all done. It's the 2 tones for Ukraine. And then we're going to mat this in a pretty blue. We could go with dark blue. Oh, I need to trim more off the top. I'm a little bit off. Or it's a nice wide banner on the side. So the 2-tone is really pretty. That is a light 2-tone. Picture it's on a white card base. I'll finish that after. Here is a much darker. I like this one better. Not a fan of that one as much. I think it's too much color on there, but it's cool. It has its point. This is definitely more of like, I painted on it. This is more I watercolored on it. But it's all how much, whoops, that was really loud. That was the magnets. It's all how much color you add to your paintbrush and how much water you add to your paintbrush. So there you go. So many fun cards. Oops, got to switch. There we go. So many fun cards. We played with so many different cards. If you missed any of the live that we did today, the replay will be available. It's on YouTube for both Prickley Pear and Erin Reed Makes, Facebook for Erin Reed Makes, and also Prickley Pear. So you can watch it on any of those places. If you have not liked or subscribed to any of the channels, links to everybody is down below. I would love if you followed all across the boards, everybody, Prickley Pear and myself, Erin Reed Makes. And links to all the stamps are down below. There is an affiliate link down below, so you guys can click on that. And I will update the links to all of the other supplies shortly after this video is done. All of these cards are going to have a quick little tutorial on Instagram and those little short reels. So they'll be available on my Instagram, Erin Reed Makes, in the next month or so. So just wait for them. I am headed out to Creative Asian / Art Materials World next week. So it's going to be a little bit after I get back from that. But if any of you are going, I would love for you to come by and say hi and to give a shout out and, fist bump, elbow bump, all that kind of fun stuff. I will be there and I'll be having a ton of fun. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm looking over here because that's where your comments are and I do not want to miss your comments. And shout out to everybody who was on and left amazing comments and who are, with us and commenting and, having fun and voting blue or pink and having nobody wants an ugly bottom. Ha ha ha. I just realized I never put lipstick on today. Oh, well. Usually I put like a little shine on my lips. Thank you so much, Dawn. I appreciate that. So thank you guys so much. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that, follow button, hit all that stuff. You know what I mean. Smash that button. That's the words, right? And I will see you guys. I will not be live for the next 2 Wednesdays because I am out of town. I'm actually flying out for the next two Wednesdays, flying out and flying back. Can't be live while I'm flying. And so I will be back after that with more fun cards on Erin Reed Makes. Bye, everybody. Have an amazing, amazing day. And don't forget, get out there and create. And hopefully these have inspired you to create a little bit. Bye, everybody.